welcome back to PSGL. We are here for PSGL F4 and obviously PSGL is sponsored by GT Omega, so as our time sponsor, so make sure to check them out before the link in the description, and to use the discount code PSGL for 5% off. We are here for round 6 here at Suzuka in Japan, only one of the most liked tracks on the calendar. Only track with a figure of 8 layout, and you only have one DRS zone. While it's difficult to overtake, there are opportunities, particularly mainly into turn 1, into Casio Triangle, which would be the last chicane, and also, if you're brave enough, maybe a move into the hairpin, and even Spoon. If you are brave enough, if you got the run on them, it could happen. So we have 17 drivers here at the moment. We'll be ready to go at any moment here if once we get the signal. So before we're in, we'll just get a rundown on the championship and what happened last week. So last week we were at Austria, won the shortest tracks in calendar for time. For distance as well, it's short enough, but it is time-wise, it is very, very quick for over one lap. Whereas here Suzuka is probably going to take, it does take a little bit longer to get around, because it is much more corner based, particularly the S's. You have Declan 1, Declan 2, hairpin, you have Spoon, and only one DRS straight. Even 130R, which is flat, you still couldn't have DRS there. We are ready to go now, so we'll run you down from last week. Last week, Flopman, Reserve 1, won the race, followed by Niels, who finished second afterwards. Followed by Ron in third. Then you had Damiano fourth, Hallett fifth, Carris the sixth, and Artem seventh, Fashion Gold eighth, Evil ninth, and after a reserve in 10th. Well, Damiano was also reserve. I believe that order may have been changed, as the provisional order when the race ended was changed because of penalties. I would believe so. As Damiano got 5 seconds to his time, Cameron got 5 seconds to his time as well. Sven had got a qualifying ban. We'll have to see if he is there. And Artem got 5 seconds to his time, so that kind of results helped the likes of Niels get up the order, even after what was maybe not the quickest of races for him in terms of pace. So now we have Niels, who seems to have left it's JR Niels now, not TF. So now, so Sven here, obviously he has a qualifying ban to serve, so you're not really going to see him much this session. And Japan, you'll have to make sure he's calculated with the moves, because of some what initially appeared to be a lack of opportunities to overtake. Current championship standings are, well, Kart Racer is in the lead. Even with his penalties last week, he should have been 6th. And Niels, who moved up to 2nd in all of that, is now 3 points behind. And then another 3 behind Niels is Chris Hallett, who admittedly did not appear for one race this season at Silverstone, but he's not far off. Only 6 points off the championship lead. or 9 points. It's 6 points between him and Niels. Then another 3 behind Hallis is Ron. And then another 6 behind is Flopman. And another 6 behind. So it seems to be a consistent enough gap between everyone. But it means that obviously with 16 points plus a fastest lap available, the circumstances could see a lot of change in the Drivers' Championship standings. Obviously we are past halfway, but we are going to be on to laps now. So if Flopman has started, we'll try catch someone who's going to start a lap. Teremiso in the Alpine is going to start a lap now, so we're going to go on board. So you get the DRS on just before the start finish line. Now come down what is a short enough straight. They're still reaching about 325, just a little under. Now turn 1 and 2, you can really be selective while you're braking there, and it depends on how you feel. And to these S's, these are iconic corners in Formula 1, and they have to be really, really precise, because any touching any curbs could send you around. And as you exit the S's, a little bit of a left hand, well, feels like a kink. And at Degner 1, take very, very quickly. With Degner 2, you need to get the brakes on a bit more. And get the exit here, make sure you don't go wide in that curb. And now into the hairpin here, take it in third gear. You can go, don't have to quite touch the apex there if you don't want to. But getting a good exit there is so important, because if you can, it could set up a move towards spoon. However, it can go wrong there, because the apex closes in quicker than you think, and through spoon curve. Looks alright. Comfortable on the Aston Martin there, getting out of the way. So that's Flopman with a 127.4. There's a Red Bull getting out of the way. Down to 130R radius. Nielsen's iron there flicking by accident. Now into Casio Triangle. Last chicane. It is an iconic corner for many, many reasons. And that is a 27.0. So Teremiso looks to have found the pace. Sven has retired, so he's just served the qualifying ban there. Niels 26.9. Then Ron 126.8. Looking very good for Ron and Niels there. Now Adrian 26.5. Adrian looks to have brought the pace here today, it seems, but we're still waiting on a lot of times to come in, so that could be a lap that doesn't seem like much in a few minutes, but for now it is the fastest lap. As always, we have the Niels support here, say. Sandbagging. We'll have to find and throw off 4/10 of sandbags, but that's Ischak 126.8, and just a slot in between Adrian and Ron. Still a bit of a gap between it, Adrian and the rest of the pack at the moment, but it'll be trying to see where some of these other drivers place. The Fashion Gold is going to cross the line, and that's good enough for second, 126.6. So now we're starting to get some, you see the real closeness as people start to file in between those gaps. And then have so T-Show has a 27.5. That is not be too happy with that. Justin and Kart Racer 25.7s. Kart Racer just ahead of his teammate. And then Hannah's actually in third, so his times are filing in now. Olaf, Damiano, after Artem and Evil on the pits, so we might be waiting a little for their runs. Japan, you can probably get in about 3 runs. It's not like Austria where you have so much like it takes such little time to get to an out lap, in lap, well, out lap, hot lap and in lap, that you could do 4 of that in within 18 minutes. In Japan here, you're probably 3 runs is comfortable, but 4 is probably not, you're not going to do it. So after the first round of runs, it seems like Adrian has got the pace over the rest of the field by about half a tenth. And like I was saying, Evil's wheel is dead, so I'll go for one McLaren. The other McLarens might just struggle to get out, maybe. But we have some cars coming out now. We have an Alfa Romeo of AFTA. Picked up a point there last week. I'll just note here before the start of these second runs that if you are wondering where our commentator is, Teichman is doing F2. So we've been commentating alongside another Irish commentator in Evans. So well, please stay here, but if you want to check out that stream afterwards, please do. Oh, and it's really got a little dark there over the Suzuka tracks, so just need to be careful with the weather. In Japan, it can play a big enough role. We've all seen last year where we had, well, admittedly, massive mistakes from the FIA in wet conditions, having recovery vehicles on track. And see, there was delay of an hour after the opening lap to wait for well, raceable conditions, and then in Japan we've seen other races, particularly if you ever, not this track, but 2007 in Fuji, you would have seen the rain that fell down. Or if you ever go and look up that race, you will see the first 20 laps were under safety car. I don't think that can't really happen in this game, but that was something to watch out for, particularly in the race. So keep an eye to Miso and Flotman, who were the first two really to put in runs for the first set of runs, and it seems like they're going to be in that position for the second round. As the Olaf is out, and AFTA are out doing laps, but this is their first run, so they're a bit out of sync compared to the others. However, it might save it. Oh dear, Olaf is went way too deep. And when you go into gravel like that, you're just going to have to abort the lap. You'll have to 31.3 for the first sector. Oh, and that's invalid. So it seems like whoever we are watching at this time is just not getting the luck. But keep in mind, Damiano, he showed good pace last week in the Red Bull, being more than a match for a kart racer, who is our championship leader. But this time he's in the sister AlphaTauri. Oh, a little deep. Well, looked like a proper first sector, but getting a little hot under the collar there in terms of driving. Oh, was that a little bit of a slide, or was that intentional? I suppose only Damiano will know that. As that's Flotman. There's the pace you're expecting for Flotman. 126.4. So, first one was truly a banker. And this is what the true pace of Flotman seems to be. So we may all have had a mistake actually in mistake in the first run. But we'll keep an eye on Teremiso on 26.8. It seems like I'm not sure he really improved on the run there. Damiano is 11th, so very close here, but that's what happens. I think you did an alright lap, but if everyone's around there, you just chance you don't fall down. It's Artem now to the top. It is Artem 126.3. So times are dropping around here. Ron now 26.4. So people are finding time. Japan is a confidence kind of on a track where you really need confidence, and you build that up by doing your laps in these sessions. Because ideally, the more laps you can do, more comfortable you feel. Japan, like the layout, particularly the flow DSs, is more you can find the limit, or as close you can get to the limit. You see Hannah's here, he's improving, so that should be enough to take him up a couple of spots. Almost, well, over 2.5 tenths improvement. That could be the key to getting onto a pole position here. And Hannah, he's showing the pace this season, just needs to convert it. It's a 1:26.359. I mean, it's not quite enough to beat his teammate, but it's good enough for the front row. And you might just can't race at 1:26.5. I'm probably looking to improve on that in the last run, but even so, 6th is probably not the worst spot. Carlos has built his points with consistency, and it may well pay off here today if you can just roll over the points and pick them up the opportunities when they come. I've just got some I've checked for rating the race. It's I believe Niels, he isn't out there right now, so we can't really go on board with him, but I'll keep that in mind maybe for the last runs. So now, what seems to have been calming down here, as I believe we're going to have almost everyone in the pit lane once kart race is around, but maybe then we might just see someone sneak out early for a final run. Just allow yourself time and the opportunity to go for it, because if you make a mistake or just run wide, you can calm things down and go again. So now, that's it. Everyone in the pit lane until now. After the first one out for these final runs, Japan, you probably want a bit of your space to yourself on track. Now the risk here perhaps is how many people could you meet on a qualifying run. So there will be people who might struggle to get out of the way, because Japan isn't the widest track in the world either. So, lots of out laps, and could be one more important laps of the season. We've passed the halfway point. You're going to get into those races that become a little more decisive, and it might induce a mistake or two from someone. Who that will be, we don't know, because the races have flipped around in terms of who's winning them. So, it could be anyone here who takes the pole, and maybe could take a victory too. This is all the great except for spending out laps now. You really see how, so there's Olaf and after I haven't said a lap yet, so then obviously qualifying ban, he'll be tired. There has not been anyone who's won more than a singular race this season. Flotman is the first on, won the first on the lap. And then we have Adrian, who did set the initial pace, so maybe he has more than we think. But I'm going to keep it an eye on these laps here and just see where Flopman is after first sector. He is what's his time gonna be? He's found a little bit of time, that is the main thing. But I think we're going to on board here with Niels. He is the man in P2 in the championship. He probably needs to run now more than anyone. He's got a bit of space on track, so that's the good news for him. Now into the first couple of corners. Really just trying to get around. And it's not looked too bad there for Niels. Oh, took a lot of curb there into the start of the S's. And you just have to keep yourself there. Keep the right lines at the start, and then you'll see the benefits of it throughout the first sector. As he's found a bit of time. He's in below the 31s for the first sector. That is the key for them. Car racer, he's done. He's done. And his 6th at best for a car racer. A championship leader will only start 6th. That is Adrian. Or someone's jumped up there. I'm not mistaken, but I might just be blind. Have to see someone like Flopman. He is actually Flopman, yeah, it's him who's jumped up. He's 26.2. What these other drivers do? 26.0 for that 10. That is the pole position lap. But Niels, he has found time here. He's found a bit of time, but really needs a good last sector here. And there's not that much you can really do in this sector. He took a lot of curb and exit, but for P2 Man's Championship, it's 4th. He's beaten the guy, man in the lead. That's a good lap there from Niels, and Hannah's done. So unless I said Justin up to 3rd, it's not bad for the other Red Bull. Caris is going to be down in 9th. That is going to be a bit of trouble for him. The fashion goal. What else can he do? It is only to, well, it's a slight improvement, but it's not going to amount to any position. Oh, and Jeremy, so he's spun and reset, so oh, that might unsettle the Aston Martin there, Hirio, who wasn't improving anyways. And that's it for your qualifying session. Our 10 lines up on a pole position. Our 10 is 6th in the championship at the moment, and I believe he is, well, he has a race win to his name at Silverstone. He has 24 points off the championship lead, but these are the kind of things that get you into, like, the kind of performances that you need just to pull yourself back into a championship fight. So there it is. Oh, this is a 5-place grip penalty, and if it's illegal blocking, I think we're I believe the procedure is known for such things. Yep, we are in for a restart, but for now our 10 lines up on pole position, followed by Flopman in 2nd, Justin in 3rd, Alec 4th, Niels in 5th, Damiano 6th, Ron 7th, Damiano 6th, Ron 7th, Adrian 8th, Caris in 9th, Fashion Goal 10th. Then outside top 10 you have Evil in 11th, Ishak 12th, Tiramisu 13th, followed by Tico, Hirio, Aftis, Sven, who qualified ban, and Olaf, who did not set a lap. Apologies there for slight absence. I just had to sort out one thing before we get going. Maybe for the race, before we change lobbies. we are just gonna have to wait now until the a lobby is set up or just put up, because the grid will then be reset, and obviously it will take time. Uh, we have got the invite going soon enough. Just please stick around for this. It will take us a little bit of time. Oh. Well, good news is we are in, and now we just have to wait for all drivers to come in. We are probably waiting on 3 more, and then we'll be able to set the grid, and then everyone will just have to load in. Obviously apply setups, because if you are watching the first time, when we do a lobby restart, it means that you will have to load your setup, because if you don't, that is effectively means you're not going to score points. Like, unless you have a carnage filled race, you're not really in a position to score, as your setup will be fairly suboptimal. We are waiting on one more driver, so and we'll probably be able to figure out based on this. I believe Car Racer was in there. He might be the missing piece. And there we are. Car Racer is now here. So if he's trying to load in here, actually that is something we have. Oh, seems like Car Racer is unable to appear. There seems to be a bit of an issue here for Car Racer, and if it was, it would be a huge blow to his championship hopes he has, because while he had to lead, it's only by 3 points, and there's a risk that even 3 drivers could get ahead of him just by being in the race as opposed to not being in the race. Yeah, while we deal with this issue, I suppose we'll just have to. I'll just run through some important information. It'll be a dry race, so there should be no variations in strategy. Your grid does consist of Artem on pole position, followed by Flopman, Justin, Chris Hannes, Niels, Damiano, Ron, Adrian, kart racer, provided he's able to get in, and I believe he has. And then finally Fashion Goal completes the top 10. The other part of the grid consists of well, 11th is Evil, 12th is Chai, 13th Tiramisu, 14th Tico, 15th Tirio, 16th After, 17th Sven who qualiban, and Olaf who was 18th, who just did not set a time. We should be able to get going very very soon. It's just you have to set the grid, and sometimes it Yep, and we'll be very we're getting going very very soon. It'll be practically now. We are now in. Obviously strategy would probably be a one stop, I believe. No, Artem is a Williams driver. From what I've read, so unless there has been a change I haven't been informed on, but I do believe he is a Williams driver. We don't know when we're going to be going here. All we know is we have to let everyone apply setups, and that usually takes a little extra time, but we don't have a timer. Last game you would have a timer which would go 30 seconds from the moment one person readied. So I would expect that strategy probably be a one-stop revolving around medium hard, the medium tire and the hard tire in whatever order, but any safety cars could play a part in this race. Yeah, Artem is Williams driver, so now 5 red lights. Can Artem get away from pole? It is lights out, and looks like Artem's got a good start. With Flopman, and then it's Hallis. Same single. All good here. Niels up to 4th already, so good start for him. And day where he could snatch the championship lead. And now it's just Damiano versus Adrian. As if on cameras, Evil and Fashion Goal all going at it here. And you see too wide between the Alpines and then and other cars. Particularly Ischai. Looks like Fashion Goal's got the upper hand there. And it needed just looks like Ischai's backed off before Digna won. That is the good sensible thing to do. Let's see, Justin and Carries at 8th and 9th. You see dives up the inside. Damiano is looking there for a move, and now we see actually Justin on the back of Ron, but it seems like Ron's gone this speed in a straight line, so he should be able to manage himself. And you just see there McLaren there, Evil looking maybe for a second and for a move on our championship leader, but there's nothing going there at the moment, and there seems to be nothing. Well, actually Flopman has snatched the lead here, but it's Artem going to go for the chicane. No, it's not going to happen. Sven's left the session, so he may have had a disconnect, which is really unfortunate. It's just after qualifying ban, the last thing you really want there is a disconnect. But the sooner he gets back in, the better. You see after Clash Psycho, and you see Tycho trying to get that place, and a bit of touching there between him and the Romeo of Afton, but Afton keeps that place. And you just see there Earlio making the move on Olaf, so getting back up the order is Hirio. It was down to 17, now 16. Soft and medium here actually. Or soft hard. It seems like the tyres are soft or hard, so it could be maybe somebody might try the mediums or some point, but we might get a bit of strategy variation here today. Because actually Evil has got past both Red Bulls. So not great for championship leader, who is going to be, as of now, scoring a singular point, while Niels may well be scoring, well, just a reminder of the system goals: first gets 16th, second gets 12th, third gets 10th, fourth gets 8th, the fifth gets 6th, and then 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So from 5th to 6th, well, 5th gets 6 points, and then 10th gets 1. As that's Evil with fastest lap. He's now past Ron, so Evil is making use of these tires early on, and this could be the difference maker here for Evil by getting up the order. And then if he can just connect on to the train that is the soft tyre runners, because you then pace and potentially have the DRS when you're going round, and that will help you undercut. You see the divide in strategical thinking. Some want to be quicker later on in this race, whereas others want to get the start now and hold on. We'll have to watch for any moves that happen, because while Japan doesn't induce that racing in DRS trains, you will see them here, as you still have everyone together here except for Sven, who's still disconnected. Let's see if it is going to be a permanent disconnect or if he can get back in. His PS4 had crashed is what we're hearing, so fortunately for him that is going to be a bit of a problem. It's going to take a good few minutes to get back. But you see Artem here, he's close, he's going to go down the inside here into one, and he's up the outside lines of Flopman stay in the lead, and Artem didn't wish to keep it at the inside and try to basically claim the apex. So there's going to have to be another lap behind the Haas. Both Williams drivers here, it's looking pretty good. Haas, who's third in the championship, is in a nice enough position here. But for Lights of Car Racer, you probably need to be making moves, but these moves probably aren't going to happen very, very quickly. Little enough overtaking at the moment to suspect this race will be a strategic one, very much so. Are the softs going to make it or not? Is Artem actually going for a move? Oh, a bit of a slide, that's not going to help him. Looks like his teammate's going to get the run, and that could be the best thing he gets. However, it looks like overtake now for Artem, and Artem's back to the lead. But will the other Williams follow through? This Williams, Alice is going to have to stick behind for now, and Plotman's going to have to stick behind Artem. So now it is Williams. That's not an order you see normally, but in PSGL equal cars, and if it can go really, in terms of who finishes where. So you can see, well, some of them are going for moves, but it might not necessarily be on the cards for others. Evil here on the soft tyres, he's probably thinking, make the move now on these hard runners before these softs completely drop off. I suspect it'll be onto the hard tyres at some point during this race, but maybe the mediums if they wish to extend it for long enough. Sven is still not back in, so any gaps left you made up, you probably need to look for a safety car. Oh no, that's Evil! Evil! He spun into the pits, so might have... It's going to be an early stop here, or we're going to have to switch to hards if he hasn't already. But will that constitute a front wing change? No. Whether that's brought damage is a whole other story, but Evil, it's not looking great. You don't really want to be... Oh, I'll check that again to see if he's... Oh, spun. Well, Evil comes out here about... well, this is about 10 seconds behind Sven. And upon checking here, yeah, it looks like he's definitely spun into the pits, so whether this proves dividends somehow or not is not great for confidence if you entry into the pits is via spinning and not by just you driving into the pit lane. Or you see now Flopman, he's floated up in 130R, now into the casino triangle. Can he make a move? Not quite, but there's a move to be made on this straight. You're close enough. Are you going to use ERS? No. Well, no. Now you do. And now you get to the inside, right hand side, which comes the inside. And that's a move well done. These top four are doing well. So, top four into softs is going to be interesting because they'll have to pit earlier in comparison to the others. And whether they're able to pull each other along and make that strategy work, or if the people on the hards can just stick with each other, DRS each other around, and will that be the more beneficial strategy? Particularly on low fuels, a softer compounded tyre, well, softer, like a medium against old hards is going to make a difference. You see here, these top two still very, very close. You're going to see another switch here. No one seems to be diving for the pits out of the top four, so probably status quo for the time being. As you see, Artem now passing Flopman, and that is Artem back to the lead. Hannes here has been it. He was still in third, it was the fourth. Niels is fifth. and he has been the leader of the hard runners, is running a nice enough place. There's options for his race that could be up to him that aren't open to others. So status remains the same here. Obviously Japan not too many opportunities to overtake, but you see these top two are very much keen on swapping places, because I think it's better to be trying, the best form of defense is attack, and for Flotman that means trying to make passes into the lead and then getting repassed, because ultimately switch. Oh, a little bit of contact there between, well, the Haas front and rear to both Williams. And as you see Artem there keeping his lead, being off Flotman. It's going to stick for the time being. No moves could be made in this lap. You see Olaf and Hirio trading places. There is a little bit off the other pack along with Tico. However, you see Flotman and Hallett trading places. And looks like Williams 1 and 2 is now in motion. But Artem, he's got the 1 second. That could be the winning of this race here. And looks like soft medium is going to be the option here probably for these soft runners. Because actually that's Aston Martin off this Hirio. Looks like hasn't gone far enough off to cause a safety car. Or even just break anything on the car. It's just been a bit of a spin, but not the best of things, so probably going to be a pit stop in order soon enough. You know, Evil, have to keep an eye on him. Obviously in the hard tyres now, but this might not be the most optimal of strategies, because well, not many people get their optimal strategy by spinning into the pit lane. Now, Williams, so Hallett's been able to get back in, which is probably good news for all. It's like Flotman, he's gone off the track. That's allowed Adrian needs to get through. That is not good news for Flotman. After last week's brilliance, it has starting to fall down a bit now, and this is going to cause a bit of a problem for him. He might be someone who's going to bail out in the soft soon enough. Because maybe the grip is just not there for him. So now, Williams 1 and 2. Hollis here has got a real opportunity to take a championship lead, and he might just want to get a win here now, because he could be the first person to get a second race win. Almost a 2012 style season here in F4, but it looks like his teammates had enough. He's bailed in, and it seems like not Flotman, who's been falling down the order from 1st to 5th, well, was 5th. It's going to be Artem who wished to pit first. I believe he might have benefited from such a strategy in maybe in Silverstone, but my memory might be deceiving me. I've heard numerous drivers did benefit from the undercut, but you see here actually, see that Evil is going to get the move done. Evil, he may well be able to go into the, oh, not quite, he doesn't get the net receipt. He went a bit too wide, and that's going to cost him there. because once them tyres are warmed up, R10 is going to be a lot quicker. However, for someone like Evil, he could be in the hunt here now once others decide to make their stops. So now we see is Hannah's into the pits, the other Williams is in, Adrian is in, Neil stays out, of course, on the hard tyre. And this one with Damiano, looks like Flopman's in as well. These are the crucial stops, and we have to watch now for R10. He's at the Casio triangle. Evil there is in his DRS. He's used up a lot of ERS, but being in the DRS is one of the most crucial things you can get. And you see R10 here coming out now. Is he going to beat the other Williams? He is. And Hannah's went up to the hard tyre, so whether that was intentional is we'll have to see. But the hard tyre, would you really more confident in the mediums at this point if you could drag the hards that much long? Looks like Evil, well, not jumping Hannah. He has managed to jump his teammate along with Flopman. And Justin also here, who is just a little bit behind Flopman. This will be interesting to watch. Oh, safety car. Safety car. Here they go. Out of the Grand Prix. Niels, Damiano, Ron, car racer, fashion goal after this time to the Miso, presumably Ticho, and Olaf onto the pits. This is going to mess over for Artem, Hannes, Evil, Adrian, Flopman, Justin, Sven. You're going to miss out here. Looks like this could be one of the calls of the season. Artem is going to jump round, but now that's, well, he's lucky enough, he's got in to a lead. But Niels, Damiano, Ron, and even Car Racer now is up to 6th. So, and now Evil's expected to drop back, but obviously that's because he was on old hard tyres that would probably struggle enough to make the end with good grip to spare, that would be. But now this has changed the Artem and Niels. So Niels now, he's all of a sudden tucked it in this race, and he could be in the best position out of anybody here, having been able to pitch straight away onto mediums, convert his strategy over as opposed to anyone on softs who had to bail out before. And now you've paid the price, really, because others got a free stop and you're just going to have to just contend with what you have. So now Artem keeps his lead, but now he's got a bit of a gap, a few cars between his teammate. Particularly Niels, Damiano, Ron. They're the big benefactors of this. And now Car Racer, who's now got an opportunity to jump Hallis, who is a championship rival, but looks like Niels he's really got the benefits. He's now the leader of what will be the top of your championship quartet, with a duo outside, just outside there probably, looking in. You could describe it as 3 sets of 2. You have your leading 2 in Kart Racer and Niels, who are only 3 points separate. There's a 6-point gap then to I believe is Hallett, and then between Hallett and Ron there's a 3-point gap, so that is your second duo in this championship, who are the potential challengers. And then you have your outsiders in I believe it may well be Flotman, who is a reserve by the way, so we have to be, he's done very very well, but obviously Flotman now, he's stuck in 10th. This has not worked out too well for him, because he probably would have needed to get round and use the tyre advantage to his benefit. But safety car will probably be in this lap. However, I believe Flotman as a reserve. However, he's had 2 very very good finishes since. Well, he started in the incident in Silverstone, which took him out of the points, along with Ron. But these 2 could probably be in with this fight a lot more if it wasn't for that incident. So they are probably outsiders of Flotman more so than Ron. But Artem also being in the lead, but he's probably the biggest outsider of them all in the championship fight. Then the Justin is around there too, but that safety car has messed with his race too as well. He's 11th now while his teammate's 6th. But as we're going to get ready to go, Artem, this is probably his time to shine, and he's absolutely got the restart sorted. He's already 8/10 clear. And Niels is probably going to be under a bit of pressure from Damiano as opposed to trying to apply the pressure to Artem. But into the first corner they go. It's Artem followed by Niels. Damiano, Ron, Hallett, Kart Racer, Fashion Gold, Adrian, after Flotman, Justin, Tiramisu, Ischak, Tico, Olaf, Evil, and then Sven's AI. It would have been a good opportunity for him to get back in there if he had been able to, but let's see if it's been missed now. It's probably going to be, it'll be a lot hoping for one more safety car. Now it's probably going to be R10 versus Niels for the win. Whether Damiano makes an appearance is another question, but he's qualifying probably was not the well, he was 6th. 6th. But he hasn't really figured that much so far this race. The commentator there, Tim Matthews's Niels screams tears. Hopefully they don't happen, because we would like to see some very good racing, but sometimes with racing it just breeds more opportunities for contact, so now 1% chance there's more opportunities to reveal itself. The fastest laps are flying in there on these medium tyres, but it seems like status quo for the moment. And looks like Damiano's actually putting a bit of pressure onto Niels just by being a little bit closer. There's a yellow flag there, that is Tico, so Tico, not great for him. And now picks up a penalty, so not the best of few corners for him. It's actually done 6 seconds, he was the only one with the penalty beforehand. So I believe After and Flopman. Flopman is a bit desperate to get through, and he might just get through here in the second pair of spoon curve. He's managed to take advantage of After being and making a little mistake, and he's through. So now up to 9 for Flopman. The next target will be Adrian, who passed him earlier on in this race. But you see everyone there just really nose to bump, well, nose to tail. You see now Artem holding on to this lead. It's not like with Flopman where they were switching every lap or so. But now they are. It seems like Niels is more content to stick behind and maybe wait for an opportunity. And you see another car off again. I believe that is Tico. Keep an eye on this cars here. You see Williams holding up well. The car racer though is struggling to move up. Even with the car ahead being on hard tyres, the odd one out of the bunch, because quite literally everyone's on mediums. He has just doesn't have enough. After's now back past Flopman, but is Flopman going to? Oh dear! Oh, that's a big incident. As Adrian has been tapped round, he is gone. I believe a bit of a front wing is gone. After's required to pit. Oh, after Justin Adrian's carrying on, but Flopman's also had to pit, and it seems like contact as one car went to the rear of another, caused. I believe it may have been After into Adrian. That was into speed. But like the Flopman ran into After as a consequence, and Justin caught up in the crossfire there. But Flopman's actually fell behind Justin and all that. And now that's changed a few things. That incidents now put all three of them out of contention for points, which is not what they would have wanted. Really, Justin, who's any hopes of getting into a championship fight, have been dashed. Really, there, he's going to probably struggle to make back up ground, or make ground back, make any inroads into a lead. In all that, Niels managed to get the lead, so this could be the turning point. Well, the big point in Niels' season, but he's got to be careful here. Artem's going to pass. Looks like Damiano will go for it too. He's got a bit of marbles on the tyres, but it doesn't matter. He's got the move done. Niels has slipped down to third there, after on to first, and sometimes it's nearly worse to be in first because multiple people can just pass you at once there with DRS trains. Flopman's now out of the... Oh! A crash at Casino Triangle. And judging by the contact with the other cars, After's in again. Or he's in again to just switch tyres or not. It does not look great because the Flopman was there with them in contact. So now, here's a dilemma. What do you do if you're any of these guys? Do you go for the softs? Do you risk and stay out with mediums, knowing that with the safety car period they're going to be more than fine? Do you throw on the new set of mediums if you have them, maybe as a compromise? But you probably wouldn't, because if you can get softs to lap 11 or 12 from the start, you probably can manage these. softs for a couple of laps, particularly with safety car laps to bring them in. Our 10 stays out, but Damiano's in. Oh, I don't believe it. Ron's got Niels coming into pit entry. Well, that's not illegal because the pits aren't considered under safety car conditions. But I'm assuming Niels is going to be angry. And I was very thinking it got passed by McLaren there. However, all of this is just going to make things more and more interesting. It's now Williams and mediums, Williams and hards. Tiramisu, who's like to stay out. Damiano, Sven's AI. Sven, if you get back in here, it would probably be the most surprising thing you've ever seen. But I think that, you know, even the AI here in PSGL are competitive. Then there's Ron. And Ron's going to need to clear that AI, but it could be an opportunity. Because if he sets himself up right past the AI after that finish line and get the run potentially on Damiano. But then there's Niels, who's probably going to be a little annoyed there about Ron getting the move on past him. So I think the indecisiveness is what cost him. Ron probably wouldn't have had the opportunity if Niels was, well, decisive one way or the other. So, now, question is Damiano going to be able to make use of those softs? Or is there going to be too many cars to pass a track where probably not that many opportunities? Track like Spa-Francorchamps, while admittedly softs wouldn't last that long around there owing to how long a lap of that track is, we are going to see Damiano, he's got to find opportunities here. These mightn't be as prevalent as they would be in other tracks. He's fourth, so you have to clear 3 cars. Tiramisu, who's not the best pacer this weekend, or in this today. In qualifying he ended up 13th and hasn't really been running that high in the race so far, but it's probably an opportunity here for him if he can keep Damiano behind while the softs are at their best. Each lap his task probably becomes a little bit easier. So there. Ron's going to have to clear Sven's AI immediately, and so will everyone else, particularly if Ron wants to stick with Damiano, because he'll probably be wanting to follow Damiano through if he makes the overtakes. Try just take advantage, see the open line that might be there and just pass through with him. But now, here we are, safety car is in this lap, it is heading towards the pit lane. Artem's just going to make sure it gets in that pit lane, otherwise the limiter comes on. You see, keeping it a bit slower, it's just about going when you time is right. And it looks like Artem's got a good restart there. Maybe not quite as good as the previous one, but actually it seems like Tiramisu is already I think Damiano might have been a little premature in getting past. Ron is now past Sven, so is Niels, and now Sven's just gonna fall like a stone, but that's because it's AI car versus everyone else who's driving themselves. You probably won't see that many overtakes between the drivers who are in here, because they're all going to just be trying to negotiate an AI, and it'd be difficult to make moves on other drivers if there's an AI potentially messing with your view. And then you see Ron, he's got to move in Tiramisu, or has he? Tiramisu's probably going to try to fend that one, but it's not going to work, and then now it looks like everyone's going to be wanting to make their way past Tiramisu. He's going to be the casualty for these soft runners, and it looks like, oh, he's went a bit wide. Racing Fashion Gold, his own teammates now through. Evil's going to be the next one through here. Probably Artem is being passed by Hannes on the hard tyre. So Hannes clearly's got the pace to manage here. But Damiano on those softs, he is going to be clearing these two very, very, very quickly. And there you go. It's past one. Williams, can he get past two? Tiramisu 5 seconds being in the pits. Tiramisu's out. He's had enough. But it looks like Artem, he's going to try to stick it out here, because he knows that the more you take out of them soft tyres, the more favourable the situation becomes. Now side by side to the S's, but eventually you're going to have to give it up to Damiano, because your tyres just probably won't have enough there at that time. But you see now Ron, he wants to make the move himself. He needs to make the move himself. As long as Hannah's still there, Damiano is not too far away. But Ron, he's going to have to pull out and make a move somewhere. Could he get the switch back here? Or the good exit? Here, get the run on Artem. Now into spoon curve. Sometimes moves here are risky if you don't have a proper run. But you just have to watch. Damiano couldn't get it done there. Ron's now really going to have to consider for 130R. This is probably one of the better places to get slipstream. But it seems like once again patience is going to win out here, because he knows that you don't throw away a good result. He knows what happened to Silverstone, where he was on for a decent result, but oh, it's true, goes wrong. It's like Artem and Damiano caught each other, and now it's Fashion goes off, Evil's off, and all hell's broken loose. It's now Ron, Niels, car racer, Damiano. Damiano's now, yeah, all hell is broken loose. Fashion goes now out of the race. These are retirements here, I believe. It's actually Kiko is been off somewhere. Now, Hannes on hard tyres is going to have to defend for his life here against Ron and Niels. He got the benefit of his teammate causing problems. Artem now, that's probably a race lost for him. But you see Damiano struggling. Having to get into contact like that, it knocks you a rhythm. Other drivers are now benefiting from the fact that you are struggling. And it just comes into a cycle of losing places. But now Ron, he knows there's probably an opportunity here he has to take. The DRS detection point there is just after 130R, or just into the casino triangle, so you're probably going to hold off a move there until you get to it. But now you see, Car Racer, he's having a look down the inside. This is the opportunity here I was talking about earlier, because he's well able to take them and pick up the results that way. But now you see Ron to the left, he is through. And it looks like Niels is going to make that move too. Now he's to the right. And he is through. Well, Car Racer can't really go through the centre to complete each part of the racetrack. But
Well, maybe if Hallett is on either side. Either way, he's probably going to want to get a move on now, just before Adrian might get an idea to make a pass. Because if he can just be in third and just kind of pick up these points, Niels won't be able to snatch his lead, and Ron, being 12 points behind, can't really snatch his lead out either. Everyone else will be now behind. He's got the move with the hairpin, has he? Oh no, Hallett's got the exit, but is that going to be enough? I think Hallett here may be in a bit, just struggle to hold on, but he knows this could be an important position to hold. And if I lose out a little bit to Niels, he could reel in Kart Racer slightly by doing this. At the moment, Niels would have a championship lead, but Hallett's tyres may play the most important role. Kart Racer not afraid of a move. He's now going to go around the outside of the casino. Now becomes the inside, and he's got the move done beautifully. Much less trouble here with the Williams than it was for Damiano. But Damiano's going to be furious himself. He's probably trying away a big opportunity of victory. But now he's going to get a Williams here, and that is going to be P5. Okay, so he is at P3. But I really think of pushing up towards these two and try and get a place off them, or just settle for that third. You're going to keep your lead, you're going to build in consistent points, and then you're going to be able to drop off some and get some rivals when you wait and you break down their hopes. Because the likes of Niels, you're going to get in for a race win here, but then he's going that Phoenix thing up. They ended up in the podium too. Niels would be set to claim this a race win here for actually Niels being in the front. He would take the championship lead. I'm sorry there. Ron here, who's the only one of the top 5, not the top 6 not to take a win. He is going to want to get this win badly, because then it will be 6 different winners, 6 races in, well, 6 different races. Now one last real opportunity here with DRS. You get your exit here. Looks like Ron's got the exit. Niels gonna have to defend for his life, but it's simply too easy. Ron's gonna get it done to the right, and unless Niels wants to really fight this one, which could probably cost him more, it's Ron's lead, and he is going to get that done. And this will be set to 6 different winners in 6 different in the first 6 races. 2012, you could eat your heart out. And you never know, next race could be 7. But now all Ron's got to do is just don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake, and just don't leave yourself open at the Casio. Casio are known for their calculators, but Ron's going to have to make sure each choice he makes is calculated to perfection. Because any little mistake, and these are guys we're looking for: Niels, Kart Racer, Adrian. Damiano's leading a second group here. Hallett's struggling to keep others behind, and he's going to lose out here to Istrik, who hasn't really been in it all day. And let's just have them up to the front here. As you just see, Niels, he's gone for the move, he's gone off track, and that's Niels' 5-second penalty. He's going to take the race win on track and attempt over the Grand Prix, but looks like Kart Racer, he's got ahead of Ron. No, Ron's got ahead. Or, sorry, Kart Racer's got original race winner, Ron 2nd, Adrian 3rd, Damiano 4th, Hallett 5th, and Niels 6th, Istrik 7th, Olaf 8th, even 9th, Pico somehow has got 10th, Justin 11th, and an AI in 12th. So, I can't believe the end we got there. So, out of all this, Kart Racer wins the race. And this could be the big thing that swings this championship in Kart Racer's favour for good. Because being that first person to win 2 races in a season, well, it will be someone winning a second race first person to win 2 races this season, but for now, it's Kart Racer who wins this Grand Prix. Ron, who would be kicking himself for losing out there, probably caught up with Niels and didn't see the Kart Racer was setting up for an exit there. Adrian third, Damiano fourth, he'd be grateful enough to take that place. Halep fifth on those tyres, which is a good job. Niels sixth, but with that 5 seconds, will have to be looked at after. Ishak seventh, Olaf eighth, even ninth. And then Justin was to the top 10. Tico and Sven were your non-points finishers. Along with that, well, Artem crashed out there. But your non-point scorers were finishers. Well, yeah, Artem after Fashion Gold, Tiramisu, Flopman and Hirio. That is it for me. Make sure to tune into the other streams on right now, and once again, make sure to check out GT Omega, check out use discount code PSGL for 5% off in their store for some brilliant products. Now tune in next week for what will be round 7 of our season, and it will be at Imola, so another track where it's probably difficult. Well, you have one really good opportunity to overtake, but other places are not in the track. You might have to get a little creative, and that can breed some good racing. Make sure to tune in next week, and goodbye.